We should have a good one on tap here today. It's the Broncos coming in at 8-0, going up against the Colts, who come in at 4-4. With that, let's get out to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this Week 10 matchup.
Okay, Larry, we are located a couple miles west of the Colorado State Capitol building here in downtown Denver. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. They come up in an offset eye. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. And here's a look at the starting offense. On second down, here's Lynch. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Throwing here, Lynch on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
Malcolm Butler's rise to fame culminated with a fantastic play in the Super Bowl, but what a tremendous success story. Totally off the radar, has turned himself into an NFL starter.
First carry for Thomas Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. From the gun on third down, it's Lynch. And quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run with Rawls. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Off the play fake. Here's Lynch. His throw incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Here comes the seventh play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down.
Here we go now.
On third down, Lynch going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Here's Luck now on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's third down. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Third and long. It's Luck. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. Now fourth down.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit.
Here we go now. No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Red zone opportunity. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Michael Brockers in on the stop. Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here? Yards to go here on second down. They'll run the option left. And he's going going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Tough spot for the offense. 3rd and 8. Here's Lynch. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good here.
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
The throw on 2nd down is Locke. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Gerald McCoy in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So a big sack on 2nd down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for 3rd. Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Locke. And he finds Stills complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, they have the yards anyway, so they're going to decline the penalty.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. To throw is Luck. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Give him 18 on that one. And the Colts are going to have a first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Locke. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. A couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
That's complete right around the 8. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing his luck. Steps away. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They go play action here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Second and 10 now. It's Lynch. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop.
Now let's go.
3rd and 2. Now Lynch. And it's a short one here. Complete to the tight end. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Here's Lynch going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Now, that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run, they made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
On second down, here's Love. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, it doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Here's Luck. And he finds Stills, complete. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
That is caught inside the 5. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts have taken the lead. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful not being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. The lone man in the backfield. Throwing, Lynch. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And now not a good sign here. Andrew Luck still down. Just hope it's not a re-aggravation of last year's injuries. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go. Blue, landing. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Over. Let's go. Detroit. Here we go now. Blue, landing.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this is Moncrief with a catch. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Underneath for Johnson. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shut, and he takes it in for a Colts score. David Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Colts add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. So the Broncos coming out now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And quickly, they get to the line.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. Rolls the lone man in the backfield. Lynch looking to throw on second. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Final play of the half, it's Lynch. And that is incomplete. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down.
Hurry up, here we go. No, Jack, Patriot. Detroit.
He'll drop to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On second down, Lynch. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And he goes for 8.
Flat and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Johnson, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
look to throw here. On the left side, this is Stills. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green. 53 for Mike.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Dante Moncrief with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. And the kicker commits the kicker's cardinal sin. He kicks it out of bounds. And the back goes into motion. On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. And they're going to speed things up here.
All right, here we go.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
3rd down, the Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. On 3rd down, Lynch. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Back to throw here. Pass incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
third down. He'll drop to throw. Finding time. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And that brings up fourth down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Here's Pat McAfee now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Let's go. Green, 39. Now, Barney. Check the backer. Over. Let's go. Green, 19.
On second down, Lynch. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. It's a really nice pickup.
First down, this is Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque.
Yeah, I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people say, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
23 yards on the play. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Here's Lynch. That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer. And he knocks it through. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. They'll set up a throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And how about this? It's the other Brandon Marshall that picks it off. And Denver getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive. But not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Really nice connection on the corner route. This is a play where the receiver wants to set up the defensive back by moving him inside and then breaking back to the corner.
They give it to Rawls. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They come up in an offset eye. A 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
They'll try to run with Rawls. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now they'll look to throw it with Lynch. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Lynch with it on 3rd and goal. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They come out here in the eye. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand. In not great starting field position here for the offense. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Johnson. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So 2nd and 10 here. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Here's Lynch down around the goal line. And a loose football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. They come out here in the eye. They come out with one back. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Paxton Lynch with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They come up in an offset eye. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down.
4 down, 4 down. Now let's go. Blue, land it. No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Dumping it off for Johnson. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Seven yards remaining here on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got Moncrief. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the 2nd half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Third down, still 14 yards left. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. After the penalty, the offense now dealing with a 3rd and 19. So with this far to go, maybe they try something safe underneath. Now back to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete. Here's Pat McAfee now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's back to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. To throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Halfback sent in motion.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just...
And another timeout taken by the Colts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is no good. And just barely missing it wide to the right. Well, they got themselves in position to at least entertain the thoughts of an overtime, but as it turns out, it was not meant to be, Charles.
And you feel bad for a kicker in this spot. He's going to have to shoulder a lot of the blame, but in reality, this will be a team loss. They didn't do enough collectively to get the job done.
Shift together here from the D-line. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Colts, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's their first stumble of the season as they'll dip to 8-1 on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Denver, good night, everybody.